I'm here with Mark and Drew from OX Lexi AI. They're doing
Hey.
some fantastic work. We're delighted to have them on the show today. Why don't we get started? Mark, tell us a little bit about yourself and your Web3 journey.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to be here. Thank you so much for having us on, by the way. And yeah, I guess a little background on myself. I came from Web 2 and like 10 years of accounting, and then I got into Web 3 probably about like 2019. And got into building, and so got with a team of people, and we built cross-chain decks. We did a 1-inch clone, and then it kind of evolved where just being in the space long enough where we realized that there wasn't a lot of really good privacy on-chain privacy tools just to be able to send and receive assets privately, and so we started building and that's how we kind of got into building Lexi. Just being able to create an easy to use like UI UX on-chain privacy tool.
Okay, excellent, super cool. Drew, would love to hear a little bit more about you.
All right. So once again, my name is Andrew. I'm one of the co-founders here at Lexi AI. So I've actually been in space for give or take about like 10 years in operations, more of in the Web 2 space, but also get into Web 3. As Mark had stated, again, we were looking at different tools to actually, again, utilize ourselves. We actually were utilizing, again, the privacy tool, again, for us, built a tool for ourselves. With that tool itself, again, it was something that was very important to us because due to the fact that we just didn't really find any sort of products or tools that were actually meeting our needs. Since in fact the Web3 space doesn't, it's great in terms of um, the blockchain. However, again, like what are your day to day activities? It doesn't really provide you like that edge of privacy, and that's where
Yeah,
again we actually kind of steered into.
absolutely. So tell us more about. I know we're discussing privacy, but I want to hear a little bit deeper into the problem statement. So yeah, Mark, would love to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I should have also mentioned like so my day job, like we've been kind of building this, we bootstrapped this, right? So my normal day-to-day job, we do project advisory for Web3 companies. So like some of our clients include like Aptos Foundation. We helped launch Kite AI and a few other large projects. So that's kind of what my day job has been for the last couple of years. And so just even within that, like big projects were like, for example, Aptos Network, if they're making grant payments and things like that, it's still, they're still not like a good privacy tool for even like not just like retail, but also institutional for them to be able to send and receive funds privately. And so that's just kind of like, and it actually kind of stemmed like from ourselves where the only reason I normally use a centralized exchange is to be able to like mask or like use it as a proxy so that people can't see like my wallet balance or my on-chain activity, like the past history. And it's not like it's like anything, like illegal or illicit, but it's just kind of like without that the ability to do it privately, I don't think that the space will ever get mainstream adoption because even for like salaries or payroll or like anything like that, where there's just like certain elements of like your financial transactions that you want to keep private. And kind of how I look at it is like your wallet's kind of like your on-chain bank account, right? And it's like, do I want everybody to know like what my bank account balance is and what all of like the
Right.
transactions I've been doing and the purchases or like
Hmm.
all of that, right? To give it to like the open and to the public for anybody to be able to see it. So I guess that's kind of the origins of why we started building that.
Okay, excellent. Drew, do you want to add anything there?
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit again about more of my background, like in the industry itself. I'm actually lead the development of strategic partners at what's called the Florida Blockchain Business Association here in the U.S. So what I do is I lead the development of strategic partnerships among industry innovators, like enterprises, like regulatory bodies. So what we do is we dedicate more towards like advancing like blockchain adoption, like influencing programs for like progressive like digital asset policy here in the state of Florida. And that's a little bit more of like more of my background here.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, appreciate it. Sounds amazing. Obviously, the privacy narrative is paramount right now, and obviously for good reason. So, Yeah, would love to dive in if you wouldn't mind sharing your screen so we can see a bit more on the inside.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Give me a sec here. Awesome. So yeah, this is the main app page. We kind of went with the
There it
cyberpunk
goes.
theme.
There it goes.
Yeah, you got it?
Yeah,
Perfect.
we're in.
Yeah, we're kind of like I'm a big cyberpunk anime fan, so we kind of went with the cyberpunk theme for the UI.
Same. That's fresh.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, and then like so what we've actually built, just like a brief background on the tech stack. So we're working with Railgun. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them.
Absolutely. Uh-huh.
Nice. Yeah. So that's what we're using as a tech stack on the back end. And that's kind of like because we were like exploring all the different privacy tools like Houdini Swap and other privacy tools. But we didn't, and even like Railgun itself has their own kind of wallet or app. But we didn't like the UI UX on it. It's really clunky and like just Railgun, like Railgun, the Railgun UI is kind of clunky and you have to download an app. And so like we actually, and it's open source. So we took their code and we like built on top of it basically with an easier to use, like a better UI UX essentially. And we actually were in touch with the Railgun team. We gave them a demo of the product and they loved it. And so they provided us dev support and we're working with them to add some additional features, which we can get into later. But yeah, so essentially you can connect any wallet that you currently have. And I'll just use MetaMask for the demo. And actually, you know what? I might just I'll just share my entire screen just because you can see, sorry, just bear with me 1 sec. So you can actually see what I'm signing and stuff in my MetaMask.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, sure, 1 second. There you go. All right, perfect.
And so I saw there's obviously multiple wallets that go across chain. Are you able to support multiple chains as well?
Yeah, so I mean, currently, because we're kind of, we can kind of get into this as well at the end of the call, but or I guess after. But so currently, we only support 4 networks because we're limited to what Railgun supports. So we only can support Ethereum, Polygon, Arbitrum, and BNB. But I guess if we do the demo, but for the further on the roadmap, because of that limitation, and just for us to like have full control over the fees, what we've actually done is what we're working on now with the roadmap is we've forked Railgun, and so we can actually and then like took it with ourselves so that we can like we're and even like the way that Railgun's built, it's kind of it is still like really clunky sometimes. Like it has to scan all these like thousands of transactions and stuff to find like what's available for wallet balances and things like that. And even like I've asked the Railgun team, and it's just like they know that the code is a little bit clunky. So what we've done is like, and it's not in this version. It would be like it's probably a few months out, but we forked it, and that has enabled us to build it like kind of custom so that we could do like we can add Solana or we could add Base. Like we've actually built it on like the new version that we're working on, but it's still on testnet. Like it's not live yet, but it's on Base. So like we're able to support other networks. It's kind of like further down the roadmap.
Gotcha. Very cool.
Yep. But currently, again, we have the BNB, we have Polygon, Ethereum, and Arbitrum. That's currently live. You could use that right away
on mainnet. You said.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, this is all live. This is all not on mainnet. The new like the future version that we're building is on testnet, but it's still probably a couple months out.
Gotcha.
Yep. So awesome. So I'll get started. So yeah, I'll just create my vault on BNB. So I'll just sign my wallet here. And what it's doing now on the back end is essentially going to spin up a ZK wallet for you. And so what that enables you to do, like you can't send funds directly to that wallet. Like it'll give you an OZK wallet address. And that's like, once this kind of keeps loading. So it'll give you an OZK wallet address, but you can't send funds directly to that wallet address. You have to send it to like a smart contract, and the smart contract essentially allocates it using the Merkle tree to your like this OZK wallet address. And so not to confuse people with this new wallet address, we created this ENS style function where you can create a Lexi ID. And what that does is it essentially essentially links your OZK wallet address to it. And what that'll do, so like if you can send funds like from ZK to ZK, you can't send it from like a regular EOA to the ZK to a ZK wallet address, but you can send it ZK to ZK. But you would need to know the other person's OZK wallet address. And so like instead of confusing people with this additional address, we created this like Lexi ID. So if you had a Lexi Vault and you wanted to send funds to my Lexi Vault, you can send it to me using that Lexi ID I just chose. And then vice versa, if you had created a Lexi ID and I wanted to send funds to you, and this is like sending it ZK to ZK, then I would be able to do that using your Lexi ID.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if that's
And
confusing.
I was curious, can you actually store multiple wallets under one vault?
No, so you can only create, you can use like multiple accounts with like a one wallet provider, but you can't use like with one wallet like EOA address.
Right.
So like one regular like OX address, you can't create multiple vaults. You can only create one because it's linked. Like that's how the system identifies that it's your vault.
Okay.
Because you have to sign within your wallet, and that's kind of like the signature, the wallet, like the mnemonic signature is what essentially gives you access to your vault. Basically, is how it works.
Very cool.
Yeah, so just giving it a sector. So what it's done is it's kind of downloaded the entire Merkle tree, and now it's synced your wallet to like the latest leaf on the Merkle tree. But now your wallet is live. Yeah, so you can see this is my connected wallet, right? So that's the one I've connected with. And then this is my Lexi ID. And then we also have points, so you can do point farming.
Okay.
But yeah, so basically, so this is my public wallet balance. Oh shoot, sorry. Bear with me one sec. I need to send over some BNB. So initially, you do need some gas. Like we've built our own gas relayer, but on the initial send, you'll need to pay gas to interact with the contract. So sorry, just bear with me one sec there.
It's a very minimal amount there.
What's that? Sorry.
Like I was just curious how. Yeah, it's I think a very small minimal amount that you have to pay for.
Yeah,
that cost, correct?
exactly. Yeah, unless you're on mainnet, because obviously mainnet's always expensive. But on BNB, and that's actually why we chose. Like, if you chose the L2s, like or Polygon or BNB. So let me just refresh my wallet balance 1 second. Then yeah, it's small. It's like 1 cent, I think, or it might be like 5 cents or something like that for the gas.
Yeah.
Just give it a sec there. Yeah, perfect. So then my gas showed up. And so now you can also use you could use the native token, but I'll use USDC just for the example. So I'll go ahead and add it. And so it'll ask me to sign in my wallet. And you can see here what it's interacting with. It's actually the Railgun contract itself. So that's Railgun Shield on the back end. Yeah. And so, yeah, so it's pretty minimal. Oh, sorry, I'm just approving the USDC on this. So because I'm using USDC, I have to approve the amount, the spending cap. And now, yep. Okay, so it's 3 cents is what the gas cost is. And so now essentially what it's going to do, and if you were checking on chain, I can show how it looks on chain after, but it'll show like I've interacted with this Railgun contract, and then you won't be able to see essentially where the funds have gone afterwards. So if someone's looking at your wallet, they'll just see that you've interacted with this contract, but they won't know like where the funds have gone.
Right.
But obviously from your end, then you can see now. So if I go back to my balances, it's moved from my public balance to my vault balance, right?
Very
And so what you can now you can. Currently, we only have like a send and receive function. So essentially, you can send it out. You can send it back out on chain to any OX address as long as it supports BNB or whatever network that you're on. But if I wanted to receive funds from somebody, and again, this is kind of unique from what Railgun offers.
And this is receiving it directly to the vaulted wallet, correct?
Exactly. Yeah. So what you can do is we've created this payment link. So you can send this payment link to anybody. And And then what happens is they can connect their own wallet, any wallet obviously that they have, and deposit funds directly into your vault. And what it will show on their end is it'll show transaction complete, and with the transaction hash, but they won't actually be able to see what you currently hold inside of your vault. So they wouldn't be able to see that I have USDC or anything else that I'm holding in my vault. And then from my end, what you would see is the transaction has come through. And again, like you'd be able to see where it came from, but from their side, they wouldn't be able to see like what you're currently holding inside of your vault. And then what we have, you can also send funds out. So once you have funds inside of your vault, you can send it to any OX wallet address, or you can send it vault to vault. So if somebody else had their own Lexi vault and you want to send them funds, you can send them funds using their Lexi ID. And so I guess for the example, I can send it to myself. We're also like happy to send some demo funds to you as well, Tony. But yeah, otherwise, I'm just happy to send it to myself if you want.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. I'll just let me just pop in. Shoot. I need a wallet address. Let me just pop into my Signal. Hopefully, there's nothing in there that's okay. Perfect. Yeah. So I'll just send. This is actually my Binance wallet address. So you can send it to like centralized exchanges as well.
Oh, cool.
You can send it not just like DeFi wallets. So you can send it to anything. So just for the test, I'll send like $100, whatever. And so you can see we take some fees, right? So we take 50 bips, and Railgun takes 25 bips. So it's 75 bips on the way out, and on the way in, Railgun takes 25 bips. We don't take any funds when you load the like when you add funds.
Right.
Right. Yeah, the total cost is 1% at the moment. And again, we don't really have like 50 bips of that goes to Railgun. And so we take 50 bips, which is still like significantly cheaper than Houdini Swap, which is over 2% for private swaps.
Right. Or Change Now, which is a lot more expensive.
Yeah, exactly. And like actually what we really want to do, so with the future like version that we're building where we actually forge Railgun, but that also like needs to be audited and stuff. So like it's probably like, you know, a ways out from having that version of the product. Sure. But we want to bring the fees down like really cheap, where essentially like we want to kind of be the 1 inch of privacy where we're doing like B2B partnerships. But if you wanted to use our app privately, it would be like either free if you're holding stake in the token, like our token, or like really small fees, like really minimal fees, right? So we kind of make privacy for everybody, not just like even 1%. I mean, if you're doing small amounts where it's like $1,000 or like 10 grand or whatever, it's like it's okay. But if you're doing like 100 grand or $1 million transactions, then the fees like really start adding up, right? So
definitely.
Yeah, even for B2B, like we kind of we pitched some institutional users, and they're like 1%. Like if they're doing like a $10 million transaction, it's just like it's not, you know, they're not going to pay like 100 grand to do a transaction, right? So so that's kind of the future. But so I'm going to send $100. I'll send it to my address, and then like I mentioned, we've also built a gas relayer. So on the back end going out, we sponsor gas, which makes it completely private, right? But so we also recover the gas fee. So I'll just go ahead and send that. And so you can see it's beginning to do the transaction. And it's all like, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to sign anything. The gas relayer does it all.
Okay.
So we'll just give it a sec here for it to finish processing. Usually it takes a few seconds.
Sure.
And yeah.
This is awesome. I love it. There's been such a high demand for this type of solution, for especially in the recent months. The amount of attention on privacy and privacy at the forefront. So beautiful timing and super cool product.
Thank you. Yeah, and I'll show you what it looks like on chain. So I just saw it.
I was definitely curious about that.
Yeah. And one of the things too is that with this is compared to like Houdini Swap, is that Houdini Swap typically takes up to like 6 minutes for a transaction to go through. Again, we're actually in seconds. So it was a huge
Yeah,
investment.
and
On chain
actually,
itself, no?
yeah, I mean, because Houdini Swap uses Monero, right? So that's how they do transactions privately, but it does take like quite a while for those transactions to process. For us, actually, like, and you know what? This actually took longer than it normally does, and I was like, why is it taking so long? But it did. It went through. So there's the $100 has gone down, like removed from my public balance. And if I check my history here, so you can see like everything that I've done. So here's what I've loaded. And I can just show you how that looks on chain
Yeah,
quickly.
curious how that looks on a block explorer.
So you can see this is the wallet. This was my MetaMask wallet address here, right? So if I just go back to MetaMask quickly for a sec. So you can see the funds have left my wallet, and here's my
Right.
so there's 99327, right? So that's the wallet that I interacted with on chain. It interacted with the Railgun contract, and you can just see it went to the contract essentially. And once it goes to the contract, it just at Railgun is able to, like, on their end with their SDK, is it allocates with like within that Merkle tree, your wallet gets added to the Merkle tree. So it's not a mixer, right? So like all of your funds, everybody's funds are allocated specifically like to their wallet, their ZK wallet. Like
Mhm.
so your funds, like my funds what's inside my vault are my funds. It's not like a Tornado Cash where everyone's funds get pooled together.
Right.
So nobody has access to like my funds and vice versa. I don't have any access to anybody else's funds.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's so basically all you can see is they interact with the contract, and then you can't see anything else after. So you don't know like that the funds have went to my wallet. And then if I show you the funds on the way out, so this is the $100 on the way out. And so you'll see, so this is our gas relayer. So that's our gas relayer address, and I'll show you. So you can see here, all it does is literally just sponsors gas, right? So it pays the gas fee to interact with the Railgun contract. So this is the Railgun contract. We take the fees, so we kick back fees to Railgun. Also kept our own fees, and then the balance of the $100 got sent to the wallet address, the recipient, right? So on chain, all you can see, and you see it's coming from the Railgun contract, right? So it's on chain, it's basically completely untraceable. So you can't trace it back. Like one, you don't even know that I have this wallet, like my wallet exists. Essentially, my Lexi vault exists. And two, you can't see what's remaining for any assets that are inside of my vault at all, right? So that's completely private. And yeah, and that's because like here our gas relayer paid the fees, so that's all that you can see.
That's excellent.
Yeah, so,
absolutely love that, man. So cool.
Nice, thanks. And then yeah, just the last feature that we currently have available is you can remove the funds from your vault back to your public wallet. So I'll just go ahead and I'll do that. And again, we're taking fees. We sponsored the gas fee, so we're recovering it. So I'll give it a sec, and then I'll show you again what it looks like on chain. But essentially, it looks like exactly the same as the other one, with the other $100
Right. Coming in. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, that we
Already.
this is our
Awesome. Super cool. Why don't you tell us more about the tokenomics?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, we're kind of doing this like crazy launch idea. So we got put in touch. Have you heard of Virtuals before?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah. So we got put in touch with the Virtuals team, like a friend of a friend. He's one of their advisors, and he's launched like 7 or 8 projects on Virtuals. Some of them have hit like 30 million FTVs. And so we were like, you know what, especially what we've heard for fundraising right now, like if you want to raise like a decent amount of funds, like $1 million or like $2 million, that VCs are really, really like no one's writing checks right now.
Yeah.
And so like for the future development of the product, and like other features that we're looking at adding, so we also want to add like private yields. So once you have your assets inside your vault, you could earn yield privately on it. And we're actually working with the Railgun team to be able to add that. And then also like private swaps and stuff. And like, but like, and anything that we want to do, even for the future integrations, like the the later, like the new version that we're working on, like that needs to be audited and stuff. And of course, like, audits aren't cheap, right? So if you want, and even if you want to like list on centralized exchanges, it's like 300-400 grand, right? If you want like a decent exchange. So like for us to come up with the cash right now, we decided like what our friend was telling us from Virtuals was that you could raise, like, even if you get to the 30-40 million market cap on Virtuals, because it kind of has like those automated releases, right?
Right.
Within the smart contract.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we could basically, even if we get to like 30-40 million market cap, we can raise like probably between like $1 million and $2 million, which is like, more than enough for what we need to like continue development, plus like any audits that we need. Plus, if we want to do like listings on any centralized exchanges, we'd be able to cover that and give ourselves like a little bit of a runway. And I mean, gosh, if we get to like 100 million, which is kind of what we're targeting, we'd be able to raise like between $4 and $7 million, right? Which that would give us like years of runway. And so that's kind of the route we decided to take. But because of that, like the tokenomics are kind of preset, right? So like Virtuals, the new model that they have anyway, like 50% is public. So like 5% of it actually gets airdropped to the Virtuals ecosystem. 45% is completely public. And then 25% is the automated capital releases. So those are the ones that on the smart contract, like as when the valuation of the token keeps going up on Virtuals, it automatically sells some of those tokens into the market, like a small amount, right? But that's how we raise funds. And then 25% is team tokens, and those are locked for a 1-year cliff plus a 6-month unlock. And so that's all, like, it's kind of the tokenomics are built in.
Okay.
But essentially what we're using, like what we like to raise money for now going into the Virtuals launch. And so essentially what we're looking to partner with Cyrene AI with is we're doing like, so we're able to do essentially a team buy, like an initial buy for the project. And that comes out of the 45% of the token supply, like the public amount. But we were like essentially the initial buy. So we're the first people on the floor. And what that would do is that would give us, like we're looking to do 100 grand essentially for that initial team buy. And what that does is it would give us the ability to come in at a 1 million FTV initial starting price of the token. And so once you get to 2 million FTV, then we would get Virtuals ecosystem support. And they're already supporting us. And like they're actually also like putting in 10 grand into the project for us of that 100 grand. So actually we only need 90 grand to raise. And then they'll also give us like, they'll put us on a bunch of podcasts. They'll give us, they're putting in touch with, with a bunch of KOLs and stuff too. So essentially, but basically what with this like initial team buy and what we're raising this like 90 grand for, it would give people access to like the first people on the floor, like the first token holders. So you'd be getting in at a 700,000 FTV market cap. So essentially a 50% discount to the launch price. And then obviously if it goes up to like, 20, 30 million, 40 million market cap, those tokens do have a 1 month lock and then 6-month unlock. But basically you're like the first person into the project. You're coming in like in that initial buy. And so those tokens would be allocated, and we're allocating, I believe it's 12% of the token supply for this initial buy. And those are locked for 1 month cliff and 6-month unlock. And then, basically, and then, but ourselves for the team ourselves, we get, 25%, but it's locked for a year and then 6-month unlock after the year.
Okay, excellent. Makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. It's been super enlightening. I absolutely love the product. I would, use it on day one. And yeah, I mean, really, truly phenomenal stuff. So greatly appreciate it. Where can we find out more about you, the rest of the team, and OX Lexi AI?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, join us on Telegram and our Telegram group. I can share the links, or on Twitter as well.
Sure.
But yeah, definitely Telegram would be our group chat would be a good spot to come say hi and connect.
And folks can access the app at app.lexicrypto.com. Is that the right?
Yeah.
Access the vaults.
Yeah, actually, if you go to lexicrypto.com itself, you should be able
Oh,
to,
okay. Sure.
yeah, and then if you, it should
Crypto.com.
just be launch app, I think, on there.
Okay.
Yeah, so you
Perfect.
can launch app.
Very cool. Well, greatly appreciate it. And yeah, we'll definitely talk more soon and dive, even deeper into your product, but very exciting solution at a time where absolutely privacy is at the forefront. So thank you both so much, and we'll talk soon.
Awesome.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much for having us, Tony. Really appreciate it. Thank you.